How about now? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me clearly, or do I sound a little weird? Wow, really? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, that's good to know. Um, let me test the audio and visual components of this. Can you guys let me know if the cameras are switching? Did you guys see the camera switching or no? Oh, fantastic. Oh, very cool. Okay. And you said it was a little soft. If you guys try turning your audio up, who's ever live here in the chat, if you guys try turning your audio up to pretty much all the way up, or if you have headphones, you don't have to turn it all the way up. I'm trying to gauge where the audio is best. Okay, Noah says it's perfect. Brittany says, I think it sounds great. Genetics Matter says, you are pretty quiet. For all those people for the couple of people that said it's pretty quiet, let me know how it is either now or if I do this and I'm just turning the levels up. Is that somewhat better? I want to hear from Genetics Matter just to see if that's changed it. If either your volume wasn't too high or if my level made it a little bit bigger, my little change in level. Oh, better and clear. Okay, good. Should we turn? Hold on. Maybe I'll turn the main camera on to me just so that I could see we're doing these tests just to make sure that everything sounds good. Let's see. Which is the easiest camera to turn? Maybe camera 3. Let's see. Ooh. Hello. Okay, so there's a bit of delay in watching it on the laptop versus the TV. So we have a very large screen TV that it's right over here, and it's just showing me the camera angles and it's showing me the audio record level. And but when I have the laptop here, it's a little bit delayed, so I can see the comments in real time, but the visual is just delayed. So at first, I was very concerned that the camera wasn't switching because I was switching them very fast, but I couldn't see it. But I guess now that you guys said that you can see it, pretty cool. So this is what we're dealing with, and we're filming an episode in a little bit. They're running a little bit late, Gina and Adriano. So I figured I'll come to the studio a little bit earlier, and I'll see if I can figure out the live, because I think for our 50th episode, it might be good to not necessarily do the whole episode live, but to do the Q&A portion live. I think that could be really cool. So yeah, look at this. It says the YouTube cache is okay. The data rate per millibytes per second is good. So that's looking good. Let's see what you guys have to say. Thank you, Timestamp Guy, for both your studio critique and hoping that our family is okay. I hope your family is okay. I hope you guys have a great day. Yeah, we are going to talk about Diana. We are going to talk about Gina and our IDG being banned on TikTok. Our personal IDG being banned, I kind of see it as a blessing in disguise. Gina's personal, though, she uses as a way to connect with people on her fitness stuff and all that other stuff. So for her personal one, she kind of takes an understandable hit there. But for the IDG one, yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah, it is visually dark because the lights in the studio aren't on. The only light is the above light. So that obviously makes sense that it's a little bit dark here. That's fine. So we haven't had the only light that I have on right now is just whatever the fluorescent lights that are in the room. We have all the blinds closed except for this one right here. But yeah, but the audio, does the audio sound good? The one thing that I'm concerned about is that the audio sounds good and that the video looks good and that, switching and stuff is kind of, a thing. Yeah, who is this? Haley. The guests seem quieter just because I don't think that they have certain of our guests, Nick, John, Elijah, a lot of those kind of guests, they spend a lot of their time in front of microphones. So they will always sound a lot clearer. For the guests that aren't used to podcasting, aren't used to doing audio, or aren't used to speaking in a microphone, they're not really aware and cognizant of the fact that they have to really keep their mouth here, because as soon as you move a little bit further away, the audio starts to drift. And when people start to get comfortable and they forget that they have a tabletop microphone, that's where the audio can get difficult. And Adriano is over here trying to adjust the levels in real time, but if they keep on moving, it's harder to do that. And as a guest, I kind of hate to tell people to, stay in one place, that they have to really keep still. So that's why from now on, our guests aren't going to have a tabletop microphone, except for the guests who are able to do that. But the guests who aren't used to doing that, we have another like an L-shaped stand so that they can adjust the mic and bring it closer or further away. And if they move further away, they can bring the mic with them. So that's why a lot of the time the guests' audio isn't as good. We also have a lav mic that we would test for a guest. I just don't know if the quality, we have all these Shure SMBs, the three of us use, the three of us being Gina, myself, and the guest. But I don't know if the lav mic will have as good as audio quality as the Shure's will, just because it's like a $130 lav mic versus like a $300 dynamic microphone. So I don't know. 100% would consider a monthly live show, probably even bi-monthly, honestly. I have told every guest before every show starts, listen, this is where the mic is. Try and keep your mouth within this is an obvious, weird sort of, but keep your mouth within a fist, a fist away from the microphone. Now, obviously, Gina and myself are very comfortable with the mic. That way, I can be up on it, and then Adriano can just adjust the level as he sees fit. But, for the other people, we try to it's also this Rodecaster. What's kind of annoying about this is you can record it in two different ways. So when you record it, it will output the session with 3 separate tracks all on the same track. So I can't go in there and work on one specific track by itself. I can't increase the gain. I can't add effects to it. There's a way to do that when you turn the multi-track off, that you can go in there and individually adjust levels after in post. What happens is, though, it cuts up the segments. It cuts up the whole show into 3 or 4 segments. So I have to go back and re-edit it, make sure they all line up correctly. That's kind of annoying. So I'd rather just get the levels right in the mixer itself, and then, hopefully hope and pray. Whoa, $10. Hans, Dankeschön for the $10. Also, thank you. That's really nice. Oh, $2. Guys, this is a test. You guys don't have to contribute any money, though. We do appreciate it. But this is just a test to see if the live switcher works. Let me actually tell Gina to, I'm going to send Gina a voice note, and to Adriano, Like, go on YouTube. I'm live from the studio. Tell Adriana. Go on YouTube. I'm live. So this is actually going to be really refreshing because we've been trying to figure out how to do this live for a very long time. And now that we've actually done it, now we can actually do more live shows. And that's going to be fantastic. I want to tell you who's going to be coming on our show as our 50th guest, but I don't want to. I don't want to give the surprise away. Mavdick, I forgot that, when you submit money, you can ask a question. I got to answer that question. Do I listen to metal? Yes, I do. I don't really listen to like classic hair metal bands. Like I don't even know what those would be, like Poison, Whitesnake. I don't know if you can consider like even Metallica or Slayer. Would they be death metal or would they be like hair metal? I don't know. I listened to more Slayer than I did Metallica. Yeah, I guess like Judas Priest would be metal too. But I got into the sort of new metal and like I don't even know what you call it. Like bands like that, metal bands now that I listen to, I guess would be kind of like Architects, August Burns Red, things like that, kind of like the late 2000s, like where the emo kind of crossed with like the metal. I don't know, crabcores, like they used to call it. Bands like Attack, where they had like weird dubstep and metal kind of converge. It's a very weird time. Then I also listened to a lot of industrial metal like KMFDM, huge Rammstein fan. So yes, I do listen to metal in a way. '80s rock, yeah, definitely '80s rock for sure. Whitechapel, I have heard of Whitechapel. There are some other bands that do like, I guess, what is it called? Like grindcore, where there's like a lot of like the inward kind of. I don't really care for that kind of stuff. Not really my jam. Thrash metal. Okay, so Metallica, Slayer, thrash metal. I don't know all the nuances of the different type of genres of metal, so I'm glad I'm actually learning something here. This is cool. This is like a little live stream before the show. I mean, even doing this thing would kind of be fun. But yeah, just yeah, mention to me if the audio is sounding good, if the audio is sounding consistent. The same thing with the video. If the video is lagging at all, but if it's still pretty solid, that's cool too. Gina sees us. Hi, Gina. How you doing? Is Gina doing okay? Gina's doing great, I'm sure. I have to tell her yay because it's working. This was actually like a pretty big plan of ours to do so. I just want to make sure that we got it right before we actually try to do a big show with it. Mm-hmm. Which now I guess you should call it old wave. Alex Wind. I don't know if I call you Alex Wind or Wind. Okay, so just Alex, if you can reply, is it wind, like winding a watch, or is it wind, like the wind blowing through your hair on a breezy day? Wow, I can hear that motorcycle in the background. New wave, I like new wave. If you're talking about like 80s new wave, like Depeche Mode and New Order, like new wave like that. It's so interesting to me how a band like New Order even came to exist out of the band Joy Division. Like it's so like different, but it's also so good at the same time. You kind of understand it. It's a very weird thing. Also, I argue that Devo and the B-52s were a brand of punk that I haven't really heard anyone either agree or disagree with me yet because it's mainly been a thought in my head. Oh, it's wind, like the wind blowing through your hair on a breezy day. Oh, fantastic. Great. Okay, this thing tells you like a lot of cool like views, concurrent views, the chat rate, the average view duration is 3 minutes and 52 seconds. That's great. Hopefully on the lives when we have a guest that they stay a little bit longer. That's kind of cool though. Okay, new wave was punk. Thoughts on power metal? Noah D, can you give me some examples on, let's say, who was? Give me some examples of some power bands or some, I guess, power metal bands. Snazzy McGee, what's up to you, you nerd? Yeah. Do you guys like the show? That's what I mean. It's always an interesting thing that when a person does a live, I always want them to ask the question so I could at least comment on that. A lot of podcasts, they just do either audio only podcasts, or they never necessarily, I guess, interact with the fans. I mean, there are a couple of shows that have done that, but like the bigger shows, like Joe Rogan, obviously doesn't do live streams. He used to, but I think the comments would be turned off. Show is dope. Matthew Dixon, how's the audio? Is the audio still good? I hope the audio is still good. Thank you, Genetics Matter. The Indiana mall shooting, Snazzy McGee, we are going to talk about that on the show today. It was one of the points that that I was going to bring up. The things that we're talking about on the show today are going to be there's like a new Black Lives Matter protest in Minneapolis that is completely unfounded in logic as to why they're doing it in the first place. Gina also we wanted to talk about the TikTok drama that is going on and our campaign of cancellation against this. And then I wanted to talk about a couple of things. There was a shooting, or there was about to be a shooting at a college, on a college campus, and then a kid who was barefoot tackled the shooter, and that resulted in no loss of lives. But the Indiana mall shooting, we're going to talk about as well. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about psychedelics, because we started watching this documentary on Netflix yesterday that Michael Pollan's doing. And I wanted to talk about the line of psychedelics, not necessarily to be used for one's own spiritual journey, but to be used, almost in a way that clinical medicine is used, to see if, someone who is, especially a practicing Christian, can at least acknowledge that if it's not being used to, try and further one's own spiritual journey, can it be used in a medical practice in a way to alleviate ailments of certain groups of people, like PTSD people or cancer patients or stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to talk about. And I was going to talk about the perspective on drugs from an Orthodox Christian priest point of view that I watch, and then a couple of other videos, and then a couple of other people. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Adriano will probably not be on, only because he would rather be behind the camera than in front of it. Audio is good. Sound is still good. This is great. Power metal would be Dragon Force, Sabbath. I've never heard of any of those bands, so that's why. Yeah. When I move back east, I'm considering moving to Tennessee. Any particular cities you guys can recommend? Obviously, Nashville is one that I can recommend. I've heard good things about Knoxville, and with Knoxville, you do have the University of Tennessee there, so I'm pretty sure that that's a booming housing market and workforce market and stuff like that. But I haven't necessarily visited any of those cities. I think briefly in Chattanooga, just, on tour runs of my former life, and that was probably it. But yeah, I couldn't recommend any other place in Nashville, only because, it's where I live. Matt, have I ever been chased by an elephant? No. I wouldn't look forward to it, though. They're using ketamine and mescaline on the homeless here in California. For Sobe K80, how is that working out? Because it wouldn't be like, let's just give a bunch of mescaline to homeless people, unless these homeless people are either part of a study or they are working towards getting their life back together, and then they're volunteering themselves to be in this sort of treatment. Because, if you're just kind of, dousing people with... what was the fog that they used to the thing that would kill mosquitoes back in Texas? If you're just kind of going around and just giving mescaline or ketamine to anyone and everyone, it doesn't seem like a good idea. Hey, James Anderson White, howdy, how you doing, man? How you doing? Not too long since we last talked. Charles Woods. Alex Stein hasn't come on the show. He is going to come on the show. We just have to figure out his schedule. Yeah, it's just something that we need to kind of, agree on. Let's see. Mike, you need to get James on. Charles Woods, are you talking about James Anderson White? I was just thinking about this, funny enough, in the shower, only because I was thinking about future guests. And I said, you know what? If James is ever in town, I'd probably have him on. The aim isn't to bring on people who have large followings. The aim is to bring on people who I find interesting. And James is someone that I find interesting. And we talk a lot on the Instagram. So that could be nice. So James, if you ever find yourself in Nashville, let me know. Yeah, I was thinking a lot about guests. And also I thought that I had since we started the show and since it started to get somewhat popular, we've had people invite themselves on our show. That is like the most off-putting thing and will almost earn you a disinvitation, even if we were thinking about it. If you ask us to come on, if you ask us, hey, can I come on the show? No. Instantly no, and straight to jail. Okay. Yeah, let's go. My favorite camera to use for photography is a camera that I've been using probably for like the last 4 years. It's a Canon 6D, the Mark 1. It's really simple. I enjoy very simple camera systems and very simple camera setups. I used to be very complicated a while ago, and now very simple. Best camera that you can ever buy is a Canon 5D Mark 1 Classic. It's such a good camera, and you can get it for like $300 now for the body. It's insane. I would go out and get that if you're just looking to start to get serious. Have I been to South Africa? I have been to South Africa, and I've visited Cape Town and Johannesburg. And in Johannesburg, I made a good amount of money at a casino, but the currency exchange was a little different. So I thought I'd made a lot of money, and it turned out I made like a couple $1,000s. In Cape Town, it was funny because we had planned, the group that I was on tour with, we had planned to go to this cheetah sanctuary, right? So I pulled people together with about 10 of us. We were going to go to this cheetah sanctuary about an hour outside of Cape Town. And my driver shows up. So I'm like, okay, let me get everybody. Everybody else decides to go to a lion sanctuary without telling me. I found out because I'm like, hey, I'm down here. They said, oh, we got pulled to go on this lion sanctuary. I was like, what about the cheetah sanctuary? We want to go see lions. Okay. So the driver takes me. It's just me and this driver. We go about an hour, and we get to the cheetah sanctuary, and he says to me, I have pictures of this. I used to have it on my Tumblr, but I deleted my Tumblr. But he says, okay, I'll wait for you here in the car. I said, no, you're coming with me. I'll pay for you to come in with me. But, these guys were supposed to come in with me. I don't want to go in here alone like I'm Steven Glansberg eating my dessert by myself. So you're going to come with me. We're going to see some cheetahs. Have you ever done this? He says, no, I've driven people here plenty of times, but I've never actually gone in. We went, we had a great time. We saw meerkats and we saw cheetahs, and I was actually able to pet the cheetahs and stuff like that. They were probably very drugged. But then we went to lunch after, and I learned a lot about this guy, and we stayed in touch for a little bit, but that was back in 2013. But I liked Cape Town. The crazy thing about Cape Town when you're driving through it is just to see the massive amounts of poverty that are just like on so many levels. But I tell people all the time, you got to get out of the States and you got to go see the world, because it opens your eyes and makes you realize how good you have it here. Jason English, you just stumbled upon YouTube, or you stumbled upon our show? That's a low. For Danny Glute, also, Danny Glute is a surprisingly patriotic citizen of the Grateful Nation. So hats off to you, Danny Glute. And to answer your question, do I have any relationship with Carl Lentz or Judah Smith? I never met Carl Lentz. Always seemed a little fishy. I didn't even know of him at the time. I did know of Judah Smith, and Judah Smith actually... in my first engagement to a totally different woman, I wanted Judah to officiate my wedding. And that was at a time where I wasn't, a practicing Catholic or anything like that. So that was totally understandable. Would I do that now again? No, probably not. But yeah, I knew Judah. I'm pretty sure if I saw him on the street and said, hey, do you remember me? He would say, yeah. So there was, I guess, a relationship there. Crazy Thug Nuts. You're from South Africa, 10 minutes away from the cheetah sanctuary. Love the show. Are you really? Hold on. I want to see. I wonder if I can find these photos anywhere, but then I would have to go I don't even know how I would bring the photo up onto the live. I think you're able to like, I could plug in my computer and you could see the screen for the most part, but I don't know how to do that yet. Maybe I should think about how to do that and I could test it again. Yeah, Johnny, I don't know what happened to that young woman that banned Gina from TikTok. I mean, did she ban you from Instagram and from TikTok as well? Did she block you and all that kind of stuff? That's the thing. We'll talk about it later, but it's such a sad situation. What is chat rate? Let's see what chat rate. The chat rate of the stream at the most recently available time. Is that like 4 chats per second? Viewer activity? No super chats or members yet? What's a super chat? What is a super chat? I always thought a super chat was just, when you contribute money to get a super. Can I turn those on? What? Show your support for the I'm Doing Great podcast. Create a poll. Add reaction. Yeah, I guess I got to look into the super chat function. Interesting. So for our 50th guest, and I'll cut this off at the 30-minute mark, and we're approaching 27 minutes and 40 seconds. For the 50th guest, should we do a live Q&A? Like, would that be kind of cool? Or no? Or we would just have to do the whole episode live, right? We would just have to do the whole episode live and then do the Q&A within it, because we can't just do a live Q&A, because if we're filming the episode and we post the episode at a certain time, then we would have to do the live Q&A right after it. So, I mean, we might as well just do the whole episode live, right? I think that's how. And the person who will be here for our 50th episode is pretty knowledgeable about live stream, so. Yeah, whole app, I agree. Any word on that video Gina mentioned she would release about intergenerational living? I think she's still working on it. Severo Mateos Jr. This is a super chat, $4.99. Okay, so what is that? Your knowledge of a super chat, what is it? Because I think someone who gave us money before, they're just giving like a donation, right? So a super chat is something that I must address. It's like, hey, I'm giving you money to address this. You better address it. 50th guest is Joe Rogan confirmed. The thing about Rogan is that I would love to have him on. I honestly would. I would love to. Like I said, and you guys have heard me say this before, I don't care who's on the show. I would love to talk to anyone. There's only certain people that I don't think I would want to have on the show, just because I wouldn't want to necessarily give them a platform, or it would just be a waste of time. But Joe Rogan is someone who I would actually like. I do enjoy his show. I just kind of like when he infuses his own political take about something, especially as bad as the one where he's like, I wouldn't have Donald Trump on the show. It's just, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. I really can't, because you'll help other politicians like, Tulsi, Bernie, who is, just as divisive or just as, what's the word, hot button as Trump is. There's no hesitation about bringing him onto the show. And who's the guy who wants to do the universal basic income, the UBI? Chang? Is that his name? What the hell is his name? Andrew Yang? No. So yeah, why those 3 politicians and why not the other ones? Oh, Mavdick, when you sent me $2, that was a super. Okay. Yeah, do a live Q&A or just the whole show. I think we're going to do the whole show live. Whoa, hold on. If Gina gets in front of the camera, I can switch it to her, and then she's live in front of the camera. Yeah, just go in front of one camera. In front of actually, go in front of either of those mics, and I can test out to see if those mics are working.
I don't have my side.
Yeah, you have your side. Slide that mic over to your side.
Okay.
Yeah. So the lights aren't on or anything like that, but Gina is in the building. So let's see. Let's test the audio and see if the audio is working. Also, are you guys getting any weird hissing with the audio? Because that was the main concern that we were having.
That's cool.
Well, only because I'm just hearing myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
It cut a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's fine, because I think when it's uploaded, it will be. Here, let's see, Gina, talking to the mic.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear Gina? Keep talking.
Can you hear me? Hi. Hello. Can they hear me?
Yeah, I think so. Keep talking.
Really? Hey. What's up? This is not.
Adriano, no hissing. They don't hear any hissing. No.
You know what? I knew these 2 microphones were different. My microphone that I've been using is loosey goosey, and this one's just solid.
Well, yeah,
Am
it's
I
the
on?
stand. It's the stand. Yeah, you're on. They could see you.
Hey.
and they can hear you and no hiss.
Hey, no hiss. What's
Yeah.
up, guys? Happy Monday, best day of the week.
I thought that you were going to be here in like half an hour. That's why I was like, okay, let me test out this live function.
No, we made it.
Okay, so here's the question.
Yeah.
Live show, they don't know who the guest is. Live show, 50th episode.
They don't know who it is?
No, we're not going to tell them yet. But should we do it live?
Yes.
I think we should do it
We
live,
should
right?
definitely do it, especially considering who our guest is.
Right. And if Gina says that, you know it's going to be a good guest.
Is there a camera actually?
That's one. I just turned it to face me real quick.
This is for both.
Yeah. That one's for, but you could zoom in on Gina right now if you wanted to.
Or move it to where I'm more in the center.
Yeah. We're not going to stay here. We're just doing a quick live to test it.
Yeah. I forgot my bar. I'm hungry.
We can
Whatever.
split. We can split
that's a
mine.
little too. That's a little too close. That's okay.
That's good. See, and here I am. I'm just switching.
Still want to show the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Our
glamorous
kitchen. Our glamorous kitchen.
Our very glamorous studio. Yeah.
Mavdick96 says, "Hey Gina,
Hi.
no hissing at all."
That's great. I'm really happy to hear that. No
The
hissing.
duck says, "ASMR episode when?"
No. No. The answer is no.
Okay. This is great because Gina's talking and now I'm kind of like an off the air
Can you hear
kind of
that?
person.
I don't know. ASMR kind of annoys me. I just get really annoyed by the ASMR cooking videos. I'm like, okay, just put the steak on the grill. Can we just watch food being made regularly?
Ultra bass take from James Anderson White. For one episode, you guys should flip sides of the table just to irk the people that complain every time the background changes.
Just to mess with them. Oh.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so Adriano in real time is actually, you can see him kind of moving around. He is actually putting the lights up because we are getting ready to tape an actual episode right now.
Yeah. Are we going to go live for the actual episode or no?
I don't think so, only because people are working.
Right.
We can upload the episode after, and obviously nothing would
Okay.
change from there, but I think it would be
Okay.
best.
We should just start doing more live stuff anyway.
Well, someone asked, they said live show once a month, and I said,
Yeah.
hey, why not live show twice a month? Who knows?
It's just got to be at a time where people are going to watch it.
Okay, well,
and-
how about this? Guys, comment in the live stream right now. Ooh, $2 from AF Ohio Patriot. Hiss, thank you very much. When would be the best time for you guys to watch a live stream?
Probably
I'm
in the
assuming after 6 p.m. would
Yeah.
probably be the best time. What do you guys think? Comment.
We definitely need our own. We need a studio that's closer to our homes because Mike recently moved to a home that's very close to our home. So it would be nice if our studio wasn't like 5 hours away.
Yeah.
That was hyperbolic.
It's 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's just the commute is a pain in the butt.
Someone says, Easy the Legendary says, the special guest is Pitbull, isn't it?
Pitbull,
I don't know if-
Miami.
I don't know if Miami Pitbull or just a Pitbull will just be
Oh, yeah.
in that in that guest
Actually,
seat.
a good question. Is it we should bring? When are we bringing a Pitbull on?
We should. I don't know when. I think we should do a Pitbull soon.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. Maybe for Fleckis's episode. Who knows whenever that is, but that's the dream.
It's hard to get Fleckus to travel because he only goes to things that he really, 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 really wants to go to. But maybe we can convince him to come here.
Matthew Dixon, I believe, are you in South Africa? Because if it's 8 o'clock there for you, what time is it? Oh, you're maybe in Europe somewhere. I don't know. But we do have a viewer from South Africa who watches the show.
That's amazing.
They said 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturdays. That's a good time to do. Oh, that's early morning.
Early morning on Saturday?
Yeah, I don't want to do a live early morning on a Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think that many people would. I mean, maybe whoever said that, they would tune in. But
Right.
I don't know if we would get that many people.
Here's the
it's-
thing. I've always wondered, do people have lives? Like on a Friday night, if we went live at 8, do you have a life or are you on the computer and would you watch our show and are you not going out?
Well, I feel like the people who watch us, they're not going to be out partying on a Friday night. So I feel like it's more likely for them to watch us on a Friday evening. But you are here. They used to go live at like 7 or 8 or something on weekdays.
Yeah.
Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, and a lot of people apparently they have attested to this in the chat. They said that they listen to the show on YouTube. So they'll put it on YouTube, but they'll listen
They'll
to the
listen
show.
to it. Did you see somebody commented? They were like, "Don't you are hear us
Right.
and disappear."
And just disappear. Well,
Yeah. No, we won't. We'll be
hopefully we
here.
won't. No, I don't think that we will. This is cool. We're like live.
I want to see what this looks like. This is a first. This is a fun first. Okay, well, I got to actually go all the way to the live. Oh, there I am. I see myself. So weird.
Yeah, a lot of people apparently listened during like the day while they're working. But that's if, if we just upload an episode that we've pre-recorded. I'm more interested in finding out like when would you guys want to see it live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be on a weekday evening. The problem with weekday evening is that I'm fully in baby time in the evening because it's her. We got to feed her dinner.
Right,
We got to
right,
bathe
right.
her and put her down.
And
So it's-
also, especially with the guest that's coming, is going to be a late night or a
Right.
later in the day show anyway,
yeah.
just based on schedule.
Yeah, but I mean, we could do it like after 8:00 Central to do a live if we wanted to do
Yeah.
regular lives. But
It's
the
only-
problem is driving to the studio at that time. This is why we
Right.
need to have a live stream set up
Closer.
closer.
Yeah.
So we don't have to travel at night.
Yeah,
to
that
film.
makes sense. Yeah. I mean, that could be like, the only thing is you don't want to give people like a less quality of a show live. Like if you
Right.
just go like webcams and stuff like that.
Do you think we should ask the Blaze to pick us up so they can give us some funding and set us up with a studio?
What do you guys think? Do you guys think if we partnered with the Blaze or if we had a show on the Daily Wire, like would we be instantly dropped and called sellouts?
Well, it definitely wouldn't be Daily Wire because there's no way in hell that they would ever pick us up. But the Blaze might.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I know I could text the president of the Blaze and be like, "Hey, man, can you what's up?" And then we could schedule a call with them at the very least. But I don't know if we want to. I don't know if we want to hand over our
Yeah.
show, so to speak. I mean, we would, if we were to do something like that, we would obviously make sure in the contract that we owned all the content ourselves.
Right.
But still, it's definitely. There's a lot of pros and cons to each. Obviously, the pros are that your content's like a little better protected from getting deplatformed, and it's much easier to get sponsors because we have 0 sponsors right now, guys.
Yeah.
So everything that you're seeing recently is just out of our pockets because we just don't have sponsors.
Correct. Yeah, we don't. And, obviously that spending our own money to do this show, though we don't mind doing it, isn't fruitful in any way
No.
as far as like maintaining it. But yeah, I think staying independent probably is like the best thing for the community that we have. But people have said, hey, I'll watch you no matter where you are. You just don't turn into a shill.
Yeah, no, we definitely won't. Nah.
Yeah,
No
I don't know.
shilling here.
Shine, you pay me the right amount of money, I'll tell you whatever you want to hear, man.
Yeah.
No, not you. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. It's been almost 40 minutes exactly. Thank you guys for just watching this live and helping me test it. Look, you see what Adriano's doing? He's putting up some foam boards. And yeah, that's it. We're going to go. Our lives work. Now we can do lives with you guys, okay?
This is great.
Yeah.
Thank
Wave
you.
bye, Gina.
Bye-bye.
Bye. We'll see you tomorrow when I upload the show. Bye.
Bye.